This game is rated E10 for ages 10 and up. For more information, please go to esrb.org.
Hello everyone, Kirbyvolt here, but you can call me KV. I almost forgot, I was like, wait a minute. But they can call me something else. I was like, wait, KV. Duh. Welcome back to the Tears of the Kingdom logs. On the last log, we kind of we found mushrooms, which is great because did you know? Okay, sorry. Oh, okay. So I got we were trying to get a geoglyph at the end of the last log. I got it. I got it while I wasn't recording. So there it is. I got a nice picture of it. I want to get a picture of the Sonya geoglyph. Why? Because I wanted to. Gotta immortalize Sonya. Now people know about Sonya. They know about Rauru, but they don't know about Sonya. They probably do, actually. But I want more people to know about Sonya, because she's cool. And she didn't deserve the death that she got, because we already saw her die in the past. I mean, we already knew she was dead. Like, Rauru's dead. But you know what I mean. But yeah, so we did that at the end of the last log, and also we found mushrooms. And speaking of mushrooms, did you know that on Steam, PlayStation 5, and the Switch, long-awaited, amazing PlayStation 1 game from 1997 or 1998, depending on what region you lived in, one of KV's favorite childhood games of all time, and also is kind of partially influenced in how KV is designed because of the spiky hair, the kind of like spiky frazzled hair that goes out and ends, and the ponytail that has to do with evil pigs before Mother 3 made that a big selling point. Tomba is back. And I love that game. And I really wanted to let's play that game. And, long story short, I technically did a long time ago, but all of those videos got corrupted, and so they don't exist anymore. And that was when I was back in college and didn't know what I was doing. Not that I know much more what I'm doing now, but I at least know somewhat more compared to then. So I love to replay it. And, well, I mean, I have already replayed it. I played it twice because I got it on the Switch and I got it on Steam because I could. But also because the current state of the port, and it is just a port, needs some work. It's definitely best on Steam right now, so pick it up if you feel like it. I would recommend Switch once they can get some of the fixes that they've done on the Steam version into the Switch version. But yeah, I love that game. So I like, before I started this log. Okay, that lightning is very ominous. Just right there. We're gonna make it inside. We're gonna make it inside, and we made it inside. Yay! Do we know what painting you want here? Okay, well, we're just gonna get something beautiful. So, I love that game, like, so much. Like, my two favorite gaming series from childhood is obviously Kirby and Tomba. I like Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is another fantastic childhood game. But I don't think I really got into the Zelda series until Wind Waker. Like, if I'm being, like, completely honest, yes, I played Link's Awakening and I loved it, but I remember, like, having friends that had N64s, and I saw Ocarina of Time, and I was just kind of like, I'm not really interested in this. And I played Ocarina of Time, but Ocarina of Time oh, right, the goddess statue. We did get that picture. Ocarina of Time is not a bad game. Like, far from it. It is pretty revolutionary for what it did. But, as I've said many times already in these logs, it is the first step. It is not the end goal. I would say Majora's Mask, and especially Wind Waker, are the end goals of what Ocarina set out to do. Just how I personally feel that Tears of the Kingdom is the end goal of what Breath of the Wild set out to do. I know that is apparently not a very common opinion, but that's what I feel. I feel Tears of the Kingdom is just the better game, period. And I think sometimes you just need to have those increments to get to where things are the best. And that may seem kind of like, well, that's not fair, because what about games that only get one entry? And you're right, that isn't fair. But if they're able to, I'd always love to see them improve upon what was there. Speaking of which, I'm hoping that if we buy more copies of Tomba, that will allow the Tomba series to continue, so we can get a third game. It did have a second game, which is going to disprove everything I just said, because I don't think the second game is as good as the first game. Not that they're either are bad; both are fantastic games. But I do prefer the first one, and I think it might come down to stylistic choice and map design. I think the sprite work, I just prefer sprite work as opposed to the early PS1 polygon style. I like PS1 polygon style is a cool aesthetic, especially if you know how to work within it. Like, look at Froggun. I love Froggun. But Tomba 2 was definitely, oh, we're on the PS1. The visuals aren't quite there yet for what we wanted to accomplish for how this game looks, and that's why I feel like sprite work is always important, and I would prefer to see another sprite work game of it, but I don't know. I just prefer to see prefer to see another game in general. It could be a remake of the first game for all I care. I just really love that game, and I mean, okay, I was gonna say I'm 2 for 2, but I'm 1.5 for 2. We got one of the best Kirby platformers, in my opinion, 2D platformers, that harkens back to the original intent of the first Kirby game with Kirby Star Allies. And we got a remake of Link's Awakening on the Switch. So, the game gods that be, if you are somehow catering to my particular tastes from when I was a kid for how you were remaking or making your new games, just throwing it out there. Tomba, please. I've been so worried that I was just going to make a law that's just called I'd rather be playing Tomba right now. And so far, yes. So, sorry about that. But we were just handing in the paintings pretty much, so there wasn't much going on there. What we are going to do right now, it looks like, is that last time we were here down the depths, we actually saw a potential boss that we fought before. Look, they're right there at the Marble Goma. And I didn't do anything with it, so let's go fight it. It also has like a treasure chest there, so probably helpful. So this is something that's fairly interesting. I'm not going to say too much on it, because I think it takes past me a while to figure this out. But in the depths, the bosses of the main dungeons are here, and you can refight them. And from what I recall, I think they do respawn as well. There's no reason to refight them in areas where you already got the reward from it. But I think that's just pretty cool. Also, this music is very loud, which is probably just me in the playback. It'll probably sound better when I actually adjust the volume in editing. But right now it's loud for me, so I'll just turn it down a little bit on my end. And what I like about this is that having these bosses here is that you get to experience them in what if I had this particular sage with me at the time. So it does change up the boss strategy a little bit. It's not a complete, like, it doesn't completely change it, but it does kind of give you an idea of, like, okay, well, what if I had this character with me, or what if I had this particular ability that I didn't have last time? I like this idea because the bosses, I think, in this game are way better than they were in Breath of the Wild. So being able to refight them is a nice thing, because you get to experience them, because I feel most of them are pretty unique and fun. Except Maktarok. Maktarok is a butt, and I hate him, and people have told me, oh, well, there's an easy way to fight this thing, and, well, should have told me that earlier. I also just realized now that, like, literally right now, over a year since I fought this boss for the very first time, the middle part of Marble of Goma, like the upper half of the central part of Marble Goma, is its mouth. I did not realize that that was a mouth until literally right now, so I am very observant. I wonder, okay, so do we have stuff that can do enough damage to it? Because Marble Goma is probably the most, I would say the most middle of the road of the 4 bosses. Nothing too crazy, but nothing too spectacular either, so it really just becomes kind of an endurance run of how fast can you beat it. Slash, how fast can Yunobo get his thing charged up before these all explode in our face? Also, I could probably just use bombs. But I'm gonna be stubborn. I beat this with Yunobo, so no. Actually, no, I don't think you could. I think it has to be Yunobo because of the marbled rock stuff. Alright, come on, can we get that? Alright, there we go. That does some good damage. This not so much, but hey, we're trying. Now that I realize that, like, Marble Goma's design actually reminds me of a Pikmin boss. Maybe I brought that up before? Like, I'm trying... What? Right! It's from Pikmin 3, the Mudclops. I think it was called Mudclops. That boss that you fight after you're chasing Louie, who is the worst character. Speaking of Pikmin, after I beat this game, I think I started playing Pikmin 4 back in 2023. I think I've already talked about it a little bit, but it was alright. It's one of those things I think is going to be hotly debated from now on, is back in the GameCube with Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2, there was debate of which one was better. I stood in the camp firm that Pikmin 1 was better because I think the time limits forces you to get a bit more creative, and I don't think the dungeon designs in 2 are very fair. I think they're extremely mean-spirited and kind of go against the idea of what the first Pikmin was about. But I think the new debate is going to be Pikmin 3 versus Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 basically brings in a lot of stuff that Pikmin 2 did, but in my opinion better. But it also has some things that feel like it's not as grandiose compared to Pikmin 3. So I think, like, and I think I brought it before, I think right now I am mostly in the camp that Pikmin 3 is the better game. They're both good. Like, the difference is, compared to the Pikmin 2 versus Pikmin 1 debate, I would say Pikmin 2 is not a good game. But the Pikmin 3 versus Pikmin 4, both are good games, but I think I just slightly prefer 3 over 4, because 4 has a lot of good ideas, but it seems like it is too hard-lined linear for its own good. And I don't mind that, but it is kind of an odd thing to come across, especially after Pikmin 3, which did have its own linearity in its own right, but it still felt, it at least felt that it was a bit more open compared to 4. I think this is the biggest difference. Pikmin 3, you cannot get everything in an area in your first run. You need to go back. Backtracking is highly encouraged, and it allows you to explore areas and get better ideas of how to survey them once you have new abilities and new Pikmin. Pikmin 4 is, like, asterisk, because I think there's one place where this isn't the case. So Pikmin 4 is mostly, can you 100% an area in one go? I don't think that's as interesting. I think that being able to designing the areas in a way that you need to go back to them to make it feel more open and connected is a better idea, in my opinion. I know people aren't as big of a fan of backtracking, but I don't think backtracking in general is a problem. It's if you do too much of it. And I think Pikmin 3 never went in that direction, that there was too much backtracking. It was more like a Metroid game where you unlock something new and now you can go back to an area and do new things. Pikmin 4 was, did you grind? Oh, you know what? I think that, now that I'm like, wait. Oh, right, we can attach this. Plus 38 attack. Or, wait, yeah, it's 47 total now. That's amazing. That's wood, so I don't think that's gonna work. We're gonna try to see if we can find a light route in that area that's darkened out. I know I haven't talking much about Tears of the Kingdom in this vlog, but the boss was fun. We did the boss. And it reminded me of Pikmin, which is why we're talking about Pikmin right now. So this is a weird analogy, but hear me out on this. Pikmin 3 is a Metroid game. Pikmin 4 is an RPG. And that seems like, wait, can't those be somewhat similar to each other? And they can, but I think the issue is that Pikmin feels more at home being more of a Metroid-like game as opposed to an RPG. There's nothing wrong with putting RPG elements into it, but making that the main focus, which is what a lot of Pikmin 4 does, definitely doesn't make it as... It makes it quicker to get through because you understand like how to 100% area like you would like in a very simplistic RPG. But it doesn't it doesn't lend itself well to the type of gameplay that Pikmin usually has. I feel anyways. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe Pikmin 4 is even more like a Metroid compared to 3, but maybe that's just it. Maybe they need to marry the two ideas together. Do more of the upgrade stuff that they had in Pikmin 4, but don't have the areas be so linear. Have them be more like, hey, you've done this, now you can go to this area, as opposed to, hey, do you want to keep 100%ing this area? Because you can. That's probably a better idea of it. Anyways. Let's beat up the Silver Bokoblin, because we can. Welcome to KV's Tears of the Kingdom logs, where we definitely have Tears of the Kingdom going on in the background, but KV sometimes just uses it as an excuse to podcast whatever the heck he's thinking about. Which is what I do in most Let's Plays anyways. It's just, again, the format of these is I've already done the recording of the footage, so I don't have to worry as much about reacting to, oh, hey, look, it's literally right there. How did I miss that? Okay, well, good job, pass me. Let's get some Keith's eyeballs over here at least. Need those. Thank you, Yonobo! I appreciate that. Also, I just realized there's Zora statues here that are telling you to go to the Zora mine, like there were for the ones that told you to go to the Goron mine. We've already been to the Zora mine, technically speaking. I just didn't do anything there, because I was just like, eh. They're there, I guess. Bye. Is that water? That's not water, is it? Oh my gosh. Water in the depths. Who would have thought? Excuse me. Sekio-om. Sekio-om. So do we have Mao whatever the name backwards is. And actually, I don't know if I brought this up yet, but I should change the language in the Japanese ones just to see what they do for the shrine names, because the way that they're doing it in English is that it's just the word backwards, but in Japanese, you can't do that as easily unless they just went, we'll just do it the English way. So I'm curious if it's actually the phonetic... Wait, no. It was actually the Romaji characters, which are just Japanese characters written in English-like formats, that are backwards, or if they took the actual kana and put them backwards. So if we had a shrine that was named Hikari, it would actually be named Rikahi, because that's how that's how you do it backwards with Japanese characters. Unless they're in kanji, then all bets are off. If they're in kanji, they could reverse the kanji, but completely change the pronunciation based on what kanji they're using, which I think would also be really funny. So I should check that sometime. Well, I'm not streaming a lot outside the one stream I did a month ago at this point. I am considering doing a stream of Tears of the Kingdom once we've completed the game to show the silly idea I want to do with the Koroks. And that might be a good time to also check some of these questions I've had, such as what do the shrine names look like in Japanese? But I'll hold off on that for now, because I know my main audience is YouTube, and I don't know how many people actually know that I have a Twitch channel, which is fine. I don't stream that often anyways, but that's where I would be streaming it, because I don't... YouTube streaming is not a bad thing, and I understand people who do it, and honestly, more power to them, especially people who can dual stream between Twitch and YouTube. That's a lot. But I know the Twitch interface the best right now, aka it's the only one I know. So that's where I'd go. I think it's more that I understand the Twitch chat interface more than the YouTube one, and I kind of prefer to use the Twitch one because I think I have, at least from what I know of, I have more moderating powers there compared to YouTube. But yeah, I think that those would be fun ideas for, or fun idea for either one stream or many streams. I definitely want to stream more. I actually picked up some games specifically just for streaming, but it's gonna depend on when I feel comfortable enough or not to... Oh, ow! Well, at least it wasn't a full... wasn't a full, death. Because right now, with the logs, if I have time to myself to do, like, streaming, it kind of goes, well, wait, why aren't I just recording the logs then? Because they should probably take priority. Otherwise, I'll be streaming Tomba right now. Well, at least we got another light route. How many... I'm wondering... So, I'll give the statistics right now, because I don't know if Past Me ever catches on to it until, like, the very end, but just like Breath of the Wild, there are 120 shrines on the surface. Now, there are shrines in the sky as well, so there are more shrines in Tears of the Kingdom than there are in Breath of the Wild. But if we're going just by the surface, there's 120 shrines. So that means there is 120 light routes, because every light route corresponds to a shrine. So I'm curious how many light routes I've gotten so far. Because technically speaking, the game does give you a slight indicator of that, but I think it counts towards everything, so it's harder to tell with that. No, maybe not so much. Maybe I just need to think. Oh. Okay, we're just going to knock out some quick light routes because they're in small enclosed areas, so it's just like we might as well get these done and out of the way. So good idea, Past Me. So that... Oh, Shoot. It went away too fast. Well, once I get this light root, it'll pop up again, and hopefully I remember to talk about it before it goes away. Shush. What do you think these trees are like made of? Are they like just overgrown moss? Like, the tree looks like it has rocks in it, which doesn't seem healthy. But I don't know. I don't know fictional herbology. Botany. Botany, there we go. Herbology. A, I don't know if that's a thing. And B, if it is, it would be specific to just herbs, not all plants. Oh no, we're gonna lose our glow. Okay. Goodbye, glow. Don't worry, we still have some of the pants. Master Sword's power's been restored. I'd actually like another, so I know last log we also talked about, or I talked about, here's an idea for spin-off Zelda games, you know, with Linebeck and Beetle. Because we're getting one of Zelda, or, well, it's not a spin-off, it's actually a mainline game. But it would be nice to get another Zelda game that just doesn't use the Master Sword. I think the last one we got... Okay, this is the tricky part. It's either Spirit Tracks or Triforce Heroes. Wait, no. Link's Awakening Remake. Link's Awakening Remake doesn't have the Master Sword. But it is a remake. So, last completely new Zelda title that isn't a remake, as much as I love Link's Awakening, is either Spirit Tracks or Triforce Heroes. And the only reason I'm unsure of that is because I don't recall if you ever quote-unquote upgrade the sword, or if it's even the sword that is meant to be the Master Sword to begin with. Because in Triforce Heroes, you get new clothing, and that is what improves your attack and whatnot, so I don't know if your sword ever matters. And I know Spirit Tracks for sure, because you get the Locomo sword in that game, you don't get the Master Sword. I think Locomo or Phantom Sword, one of the two. And in Link's Awakening Remake, you get the level 2 sword. What does that mean? It means it's level 2. Because I think one of the things that I don't mind... So, this isn't this game's fault. It's not Breath of the Wild's fault. But the fact that the Master Sword is kind of just like, hey, I can just use this as a tool and do all these silly things with it right now and not have to, like, whatever, because, you know, all my other weapons break, makes it seem like it's not only the most powerful weapon, but also, like, I'm going to abuse this because this is very silly. We still had that cutscene where we got the Master Sword, so, like, I mean, the Master Sword broke at the beginning of the game, so it still held some gravitas to it. But I think they have used the Master Sword a little too much, that it's lost some of its gravitas. So, it was first introduced in Link's Awakening, in Link's to the Past, comes back in Ocarina of Time, holds huge gravitas there, is in Wind Waker, and Wind Waker holds huge gravitas there because that's like the second half of the game is based on the Master Sword, so it holds a lot of weight there. It's in Twilight Princess because it's in Twilight Princess. Skyward Sword is meant to be the story of how the Master Sword was forged, so that's pretty cool. But then A Link Between Worlds is the Master Sword again. And it's just like, okay, cool, this is here because it was in A Link to the Past. And then it's here again in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And hold on, just a sec, hold on to that thought, because I might be warping. Or am I not warping? Oh, no, there's one over there. Alright. I think Tears of the Kingdom did a better job of it, because Breath of the Wild, all the flashbacks are just like, Link already has the sword. So it's just kind of like, eh. And yeah, you get it back, and that's supposed to be a big deal, but the way the Master Sword is utilized as an item in-game, to me, does not hold the same weight as it does in some of the other games where it has been used. I feel the weight of what happens to the Master Sword in the storyline of Tears of the Kingdom makes it more important than it was in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, it was just, he just has it because he's the best. So it's kind of hit or miss there. Like, basically, Wind Waker on, it's like they have a hit with using the Master Sword, then they have a miss. Then they have a hit, then they have a miss. Or, I guess, 2 misses in a row, because I don't recall if the Master Sword is used in A Link Between Worlds. Also, we should probably kill that guy. I'm not gonna... oh, I guess we're just gonna get the light route. That's fine. And because they keep hyping up to be this all-important sword in every game it appears in, it would be nice to kind of feel that hype again. Like, when I played Ocarina of Time for the first time, I didn't feel the hype behind it, but I understood its purpose, because getting the Master Sword is what ends the childhood arc of the game, and is kind of like, it's a representation of Link himself, so there's still something good with it there. Wind Waker, because the whole second half of the game is dedicated to fixing it, I feel like really like strikes down the importance of it, and also just how far everything has gone since the stuff that happened before Wind Waker. It makes everything really cool. But then you have games like Twilight Princess and Link Between Worlds where it's just like, it's here because we know you're expecting it to be here. And it's just kind of like, well, can we do something better than that? And I think in Link Between Worlds you can also temper it like you could in, if I'm recalling correctly. I might be wrong in that, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think you can temper it like you could in A Link to the Past, so it can get better upgrades, but still. That also just kind of makes it like, okay, well then what's the point? Because the story holds it with gravitas, but then it's just like, oh, well, no, it's not the best form of the sword. It's just like, oh, well, why did I bother getting it then? So, a game that doesn't use the Master Sword again, I think would be great, besides Link's Awakening Remake, which also didn't use the Master Sword. Also, did we... oh, no, it's right there. Okay. I wasn't sure if I had, like, hit... because, as you can see, there is a void wall right down the center of the circle in the minimap there. So I wasn't sure where that void wall is. So I was like, oh no, am I just climbing up the wall that never ends? Another thing we could do on a stream, if I streamed this, would be testing to see if we can actually get out of the depths with just the tools on hand. I have been told it's not possible, but it'd be fun to try. Please let us see the map. Okay, what? That... what does the map look like on the surface? I don't think Future Me's going to check that, unfortunately. Wait, Future Me? Pass me. Future Me can't do squat right now because it hasn't happened yet. Pass Me also can't do squat because it already did happen. Oh, we are missing still quite a lot of light routes based on how much of the map we don't have filled out right now. Oh, okay. It's the weird ravine thing by the Garuda region that got flooded over, which wasn't flooded in Breath of the Wild. I also watched this really interesting video about where do the rivers in Hyrule go. Very interesting watch. I think it came out a few days ago. You should go watch it if you haven't seen it. And I think all you need to do is search where do the rivers in Hyrule go. I don't think I understood it fully, but it was very cool to kind of just see how people would like understand the map typography to create the right hydrology, hydrography of how water flow should realistically work. Obviously, it's a game; it's probably not going to realistically work, but it is always one of those kind of neat things of like, okay, we're developing this game. Do we pay attention to that or no? Personally, if it's fun, I don't care if it's realistic. But it is one of those... It's a fun idea to explore. Wow, you have a bunch of egg butt horses here. Oh, hey, what's on? What? What? What's the problem? I think I helped your bro because we did the whole, like, ford in the river thing down here, right? Or is there something else being a problem? I can cut the grass. Do you want to cut the grass? Oh! Yeah, bathtub, yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they're cute. They're adorable. I love them, and I hope that they can come back in a future game. Also, we get a pony point for telling him that. All right, cool. You're welcome. Anyways, about this painting. What are you looking for? What can I do for you? I'm here to help you with your painting dreams. Oh, the big ring runes? Oh, well, guess what? I have one. When did I take it? Off screen. Which one would you like? We got the really big one, the mountain one that's kind of blurry, and the mountain one that's a bit brighter. I think we're gonna go with the mountain one that's a bit brighter. And you can see Hyrule Castle right through the ring. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Yeah, you get on that. You get painting that. That's going to be a masterful piece. Artists are incredible. And if you ever have the ability to commission an artist, you should, because they're amazing and they do great work. Like, plug, check out the artist who did the KV artwork for this series in the description of this video. Go give them some love. Follow them, check out their wares, and if they're open for commissions, you should commission them because they're really cool. Oh, it's always fun to commission artists to see what they concoct, because a lot of times you'll have an idea in your head and the artist will make it even 10 times better than what you initially imagined. So, shout out to Lonely Days for the amazing KV artwork for Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, so let's start getting some more. We're finally getting back to the stables and getting the pictures. So, to Bantha, they're looking for... either I already have it, or I need to talk to them again. I'm gonna guess I already have it. I'm gonna guess that after the whole geoglyph thing, I just went, no. I'll just get these all off screen. You guys don't want to see my process and how I'm taking photos. At least some of them are kind of boring. The one where we did the lighting on the statue and the sunrise one, that was great. I actually like seeing that process. But some of these other ones, I think I just went, here you go. Good enough. Because The geoglyph one definitely seems like I finally got up there, I finally could get a shot of it proper, and I just went, I got it. I'm good. I'm not going to do anything more. Oh, I don't think we have this one yet, actually, but the area we need to go to is over here for it, so we're going to start heading to this area. I don't think we're going to actually get the photograph in this log, but we'll make our progress toward there, at the very least. Guys want it? Like, I still have some money, and do you need help fixing the bridge? I'll help fix the bridge. Doesn't seem very stable at the moment. Did we not do that, Addison? How did we miss this one? Hello. Hi, Addison. How are you? How did we miss this? Please tell me all the details. Or don't. Just let go and let it fall, it's fine. People can still see the picture even if it's sideways. Okay, okay. Here's this big board. I'm gonna bonk you on the head a few times if it's fine. It's fine. Sure. Attach that way, I guess. That's just for stability. I can't go under there. Or can it? You can! Hooray! Yeah, I think it's pretty stuck there with how much I had to wedge that in there. Try letting go. Oh. I think that's the most... I don't think it moved at all. I think it's the best one we've done yet. I mean, it also helps with the tools we have and the terrain. And the type of sign he was trying to put up. Actually, it still looks like it fell a little bit. Or he's just that bad at putting the supports down that it actually tilted. Hooray! I have some bad news for you, Addison. I don't think I'm ever using the sleepover tickets. In the game. I'd love to use them in real life right now, apparently. An all-time great Rachel Warrior! Someone who aspires to greatness! Talking about embarrassing. First Rita will be able to control the winds, one of our big advantage. Just curious about what kind of training we do. Yeah, we'll be a Rito warrior too. Okay. So this one at least made sense. That's why he's charging me to do this. It's like, I'm paying this Goron to be here so he can operate that thing. And the Goron's probably just like, hey man, I was having a fun time. But yeah, I probably should get compensation or else my friends and family are going to be mad at me for not bringing home the bacon. Or in this case, the rock roast. You know, actually, that's a good question. Do you think you could... I don't think that counts. It needs to go in the basket. What? Oh, no. What? Yeah, that one's a little too far away past me. I'm sorry. Oh my... Okay, I see what I'm doing here. Oh my gosh, this shouldn't be working. We're not gonna get the score, I'm pretty dang sure. But, man, is it funny. We just recall them back, and then if he pushes them slightly in when he launches another rock off, then they go into the basket. This doesn't always work, though. So, your mileage may vary. I think this is a very bad way to do this. Oh, that one didn't make it in. Yeah, wait, why did you move the ones already in the basket out of there? Oh, that one just barely got on there. I think a better thing would be to stop it over the basket. But okay, past me. Yeah, that was, you tried. You certainly did try. Well, everyone, if you thought that try was good, or if you just enjoyed the log for today, like, comment, subscribe. Don't have to, you don't want to, but it's always appreciated. We'll try it again sometime, probably, and maybe do a bit better. If you haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet, pick it up. It's on Nintendo Switch. Hopefully play it on Successor. And yeah, go do that minigame and be better than me at it, because I'm sure you can, especially with that poor performance I just did. Most importantly, though, of course, is I wish that all of you have a wonderfully great day, and I will see you on the next log for when we go to get some more stable photos, or paintings in this case. Until then, ciao.